Alright, so today we'll be continuing our discussion with another problem or another hematologic problem, which is what we call the idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura. Okay, ano nga ba yung ITP na tinatawag natin? So sabi natin, this is a disease affecting all ages, but it is more common in children and young women. So ibig sabihin ng mga bata daw ang kadalasan na nagkakaroon nitong ITP na tinatawag natin. And ano nga ba si ITP? Sabi natin, it is, in patient with ITP, anti-platelet antibodies that bind to the platelet are found in the blood. So, when the platelet are bound by the antibodies, sabi natin, the reticuloendothelial system or tissue macrophage system ingest the platelet. So, sinisira nila yung platelet mismo ng pasyente. Okay? And sabi natin, the body attempts to compensate for this destruction by increasing platelet production within the marrow. So, these are two forms. Meron acute, which is sabi nga natin primarily sa mga bata, and chronic. So, ibig sabihin, ano nangyari? Nasisira yung platelet ni patient. So, kung nasisira yung platelet, ano ngayon ang pwedeng mangyari kay patient? So, possibly, the patient could bleed because yung platelet, di ba, hindi siya na-produce or nasisira siya mismo. So, ano ang nagkakos ng pagkasira ng mga platelets ng idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura natin? So, number one, sabi natin, the precise cause remain unknown. So, still, it's idiopathic. Hindi alam ano ba yung nagkakos ng ITP natin. Or, pwede rin daw to viral infection. Diba? Kaya nga kadalasan ng mga bata, diba sila yung mga common nakakakuha ng mga viral diseases. Okay? Other conditions could be, systemic lupus erythematosus, pwede due to SLE, pregnancy, diba? Diyan nila nakukuha. Or, medication that could produce yung ITP, bisa nasisira. So, common na medication that could mag-cause ng ITP is yung mga sulfa drugs. So, yan yung mga pwedeng mangyari. So, sabi natin, kung nasisira yung platelet ni patient, so what will be our clinical manifestation that can be seen in a patient with ITP? Diba? Sabi natin, since nasisira daw, yung iba, wala pang nakikita na symptoms. Or mostly of the patient have no symptoms. But when symptoms is nakita, diba? Since disrupted or sira yung platelet ni patient may have petechiae and easy bruising or what we call dry purpura. So, nagkakaroon siya ng mga patches. Diba? Parang din dun sa, sa DIC, di ba, nagkakaroon. Or madali silang magpasa-pasa yung pasyente. Ano pa? Patient could have heavy menses and could have mucosal bleeding. Ibig sabihin, malakas magregla, tapos sometimes, di ba, konting toothbrush lang, nagbi-bleed na sila. Isa yung tinatawag na wet purpura. And those patients who have mucosal and heavy menses is, high risk sila na magkaroon ng intracranial bleeding. Sabihin, pwede mag-bleed dun sa brain ni patient. Okay? So, since nasisira ang platelet, generally, the platelet of the patient is mababa. As low as, 20,000 below. Diba? Kasi gano'n ba kadami yung platelet? Diba sabi natin, the normal platelet should be 150,000 to 350,000 or 400 depending on the reference. But this one, for patient with ITP, masyadong mababa. Okay, for acute form, sabi natin, this is self-limiting. So, possibly, spontaneously remission. So, ibig sabihin, pag acute form, eventually, gagaling din yung patient on his or her own. Diba? Magko-compensate yung katawan and then, babalik sa normal. Okay, so what will be our assessment and diagnostic findings? Sabi natin, usually, the diagnosis is based on the decreased platelet count and survival time and increased bleeding time and ruling out other causes of thrombocytopenia. So, kadalasan, di ba nga, ang magiging unang makikita, mababa daw yung platelet ni patient. Di ba? Tapos, bleeding time increase. Kasi nga, walang platelet. Diba si platelet siya yung nagko-coagulate to prevent yung bleeding. Sabi natin, the key diagnostic procedure includes platelet count, which is kasama din po yung complete blood count, so kasama naman niya. So, bone marrow aspiration to check ano yung nagiging response ng bone marrow natin. And sabi dito, which shows an increase in megakaryocytes or yung precursor ni platelet. Di ba kasi nga, kung nasisira yung platelet, di ba, magre-respond yung katawan natin by the bone marrow will produce more platelet, which is yung megakaryocytes, so yung precursor para ma-produce yung platelets. Kaya kung nakita sa bone marrow aspirate, di ba, increase daw yan. Kasi nga, nagko-compensate yung katawan. Okay, many patients are infected with Helicobacter pylori. But sabi, to date, effectiveness of H. pylori treatment is relation to management of ITP still unknown. Hindi pa rin sila masyadong na-i-connect. But, since there's a presence of Helicobacter bacteria, so tinitreat pa rin po yan. Okay? So, ano daw yung management natin? Sabi natin, primary goal of treatment is a safe platelet count. So, gusto nating tumaas yung platelet count ni patient para ma-prevent natin na mag-bleed si patient. Okay? Ano daw? Splenectomy is sometimes performed. Thrombocytopenia may return to months or years later. So, ano yung splenectomy? Tatanggalin yung spleen ni patient. Kasi nga, di ba, irregular, kukunin niya na kukunin. So, namamaga kasi yung spleen ni patient. So, tinatanggal yung spleen ng patient. Possible. Pwede siyang gawin. Okay, in terms of pharmacologic therapy, what is the medication that we'll give to patient? Diba sabi natin, yung antibodies niya, inaatake yung platelet. That's why nasisira yung platelet. So, we will give immunosuppressive medications, kagaya ng mga corticosteroids. Sabi natin, the bone mineral density of patient receiving chronic corticosteroid needs to be monitored. Bakit? Nagbumababa yung bone density. Ibig sabihin, rurupok yung buto ni patient kapag long-term use of corticosteroids natin. Okay, this patient may be benefit from calcium and vitamin D supplement, diba? Para hindi masira yung bone ni patient. O sabi natin, pwede na ba yung phosphate therapy to prevent significant bone disease or osteoporosis kay patient. Ano pa daw? Intravenous gamma globulin, which is, this is one of the very expensive treatment, diba? Or chemotherapy agent like your vincristine, diba? So, ginagamit din niya. So, another approach involves using the anti-D or WinRho for patient na merong RHD positive, diba? So, mga, ano na to, mga high-end na treatment na. Okay, thrombopoiesis stimulating protein or AMG 531 has been successfully used to treat your patients with chronic ITP. So, thrombopoiesis, sabihin, siya yung nag-stimulate ng production ng platelet ni patient, yung mga gamot na yan. Okay, ano pa daw? Epsilon aminocaproic acid. Okay, it can be AACA or Amicar. So, may be useful for patients with significant mucosal bleeding who are refractory to the other treatment. So, ibig sabihin, pag hindi nagre-respond to other treatment. Okay, kung walang treatment, or sobrang bagsak na ng platelet ni patient, diba, we can transfuse platelet to patient. This will help us avoid na mag-bleed si patient or ma-prevent na natin na mag-bleed yung patient. Diba? Kasi nga, pag sobrang baba ng platelet, diba, possible mag-bleed yung patient natin. Okay, so as a nurse, ano yung mga tatandaan, ano yung mga nursing management natin? So, assess patient lifestyle to determine risk for bleeding from activities. So, ibig sabihin, ano yung mga activities na ginagawa? Ano yung lifestyle ni patient? Sporty ba siya? So, kung sporty, syempre, kailangan malimit yan, especially yung mga combative sports. Diba? Kasi nga, bawal siya mabunggo kasi diba, they are, mabilis sila magkapasak-pasak, mabilis mag-bleed yung patient. Okay? Obtain history of medication use. Kasi nga, sabi natin, it could be related daw sa mga medications. Halimbawa, ano ba yung mga over-the-counter drugs na iniinom ni patient? Okay, may herbal medicines ba or other nutritional supplements that the patient is using. So we can check, di ba, if those over-the-counter drugs, herbal medicines, or mga nutritional supplements is merong effect when it comes to the platelet destruction ng patient natin. Okay, nagkaroon daw ba ng recent viral illness? Di ba? Does the patient complain of headache or visual disturbances? Kasi, pag headache and visual disturbances, it could, present that patient has intracranial bleeding. So, kaya, importante po yung thorough assessment natin for patient na merong ITP. Okay, be alert for sulfa-containing medications and medications that alter platelet functions. Diba? Yung aspirin. Diba si aspirin, diba thrombolytics. Diba? So, tinutunaw niya. So, ibig sabihin, pwedeng maapektuhan yung platelet functions. Same goes with non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, yung mga NSAIDs natin. Okay, physical assessment should include a thorough search for bleeding or sign of bleeding. Diba? Kung saan part ng patient, ng katawan ni patient, meron bang bleeding tendencies or meron bang mga pasa, meron bang petechiae, diba? And, syempre, importante po yung neurologic assessment for us to know if the brain is affected kung nagkakaroon ng intracranial bleeding si patient. Kasi kapag nagkaroon ng bleeding sa brain, ibig sabihin, yung neurologic status of the patient will be affected. Diba? And, syempre, yan, vital signs, measurement, very important. Okay? Ano pa daw? Sabi natin, to minimize bleeding, instruct patient to avoid all agents that interfere with platelet functions. Diba? Ano yung mga gamot? Ano yung mga pwede niyang iniinom niya na pwedeng mag-react para masira or ma-destruct yung function ng platelet natin. Pa daw, avoid administering injections. Di ba nga? Pag nag-inject ka, mag-create ka ng, so pwede mag-bleed yung patient. Di ba? So kaya dapat as much as possible, we want to to avoid yung mga injections kay patient. Same goes with rectal route. Di ba? Kasi nga, di ba may mga veins diyan that could predispose or could lead the patient for bleeding. Kaya nga yung rectal thermometer, which is hindi naman na siya common na ginagamit ngayon, hindi dapat nag-rectal thermometer kay patient na may mga ITP. So, instruct patient to avoid constipation. Okay? Valsalva maneuver and thought flossing. Okay? So, bakit avoid natin constipation? Di ba kapag matigas yung pupo, the tendency is mahirap mag-poop si patient. Kailangan niyang umiri. And, di ba, mabilis mag-bleed. So, pwedeng magkaroon ng bleeding si patient, lower GI bleed, or pwede dun sa puwet ni patient mag-bleed. Di ba? Ano pa daw? Floss. Dental floss. Di ba? Pag nagaganyan ka, di ba? Tendency tatamaan mo yung gums and easily nagbi-bleed din po yung patient. Okay, encourage patient to use electric razor kapag nagsha-shave. Kasi di ba yung mga manual, tendency patient could cut himself. Diba? Yung electric razor kasi nape-prevent yan. And, instead of sa toothbrush naman, when it comes to toothbrush, dapat daw soft bristle toothbrush. Kasi nga para ma-prevent or ma-avoid natin na magkaroon ng gum bleeding si patient. Okay pa daw, advise patient to refrain from vigorous sexual intercourse when platelet is less than 10,000. Bawal muna mag-experiment. Bawal muna yung mga kakaibang posisyon na pinaggagawa. Diba? Kung gusto talaga makipag-sex ng pasyente. Bawal muna mag-helicopter. Okay? Bawal muna mag-50 Shades of Grey. Malinaw po? Okay. So, ano pa daw? So, monitor for complications. Kung, di ba sabi natin, di ba nagagamot si patient, nagko-corticosteroids, di ba pwede maapektuhan daw yung bone. So, check if patient is nagkakaroon ba ng osteoporosis, di ba, proximal muscle wasting or cataract formation or dental caries. So, nagkakaroon ba ng problem sa teeth si patient, sa paningin si pasyente, pumapayat ba or nagkakaroon ba ng muscle atrophy yung patient natin. And that's your ITP or idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura. Is there any question with ITP? Are we all clear with regards to ITP? All clear. Next topic is si hypertension, which is nadaanan na rin natin sa hypertension, di ba, sa sa cardiovascular system. Sabi nga natin, ano daw yung hypertension? Is defined as systolic blood pressure greater than 140 millimeters mercury and a diastolic pressure that is greater than 90 millimeter mercury based on 2 or more measurements. Diba? Paulit-ulit eh. Hypertension classified as follows. Diba? Meron tayong classification sa alala pa na binigay noong American Heart Association. Diba? So, eto daw yan. So, diba? Yung table natin. So, 120 to 129 is elevated. Diba? Hypertension or high blood pressure is 113 to 140. Pag stage 2, high blood pressure, sabi na hypertension stage 2, 140 pataas na yan. And kapag nga po nagwa 180 pataas si patient, this is what we call the hypertensive crisis. And kailangan ng immediate consultation, kailangan ng immediate treatment kay patient. Okay, sabi natin, hypertension is a major risk factor for what? Atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, yung CAD natin, because of the increased pressure. Di ba, kung nagkakaroon ng fat deposits, di ba, dahil sa increase ng pressure, di ba, tendency na papadikit niya lalo dun sa vessel wall yung mga taba na yan, kaya at risk lalo na mag-form ng CADC patient. Okay? Pwede rin po magkaroon ng heart failure because of the increased pressure. Di ba sabi natin, di ba, yung increase ng pressure, for example, sa aorta, di ba may hirapan si ventricle na mag-pump kasi nga mas mataas yung pressure doon. Okay? Stroke to the patient, di ba, kasi nga pwede magkaroon ng bleed. And even the kidney, di ba, pwede magkaroon ng kidney failure si patient. So, hypertension carries the risk for premature morbidity or mortality, which increases as systolic and diastolic pressure rise. Ibig sabihin, the long na mas tumataas siya. So, prolonged blood pressure elevation damages your vessels or yung blood vessels natin. And kasalaman po dyan ano mga organs, di ba? Yung mga importanteng organs sa katawan natin, which is your heart, the kidneys, the brain, and the eyes. Di ba? Yan po yung mga pwedeng maapektuhan. And sabi nga, essential or primary hypertension. So, in the adult population with hypertension, between 90 to 95% of patients have essential hypertension. Ano yan? Which has no identifiable medical cause. It appears to be multifactorial and polygenic condition. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga meron yung primary hypertension, hindi daw na masyado napapansin. Or multi-factor, bakit sila nagkakaroon yan? Diba? Ano ba yung mga factors? Diba? It could be, diba, yung mga lifestyle, diba? Yung mga pwedeng mangyari yan. So, high blood pressure to occur. Paano daw? Increase in peripheral resistance and cardiac output must occur secondary to increase sympathetic stimulation. Diba? Yung increase nung pressure ngayon, diba, nagkakaroon ng resistance. Kasi nga, hirap makapag-flow yung blood natin. Ano daw? There is also, because of increased renal sodium reabsorption. Diba? Kaya nga po, low salt, low fat ang ating diet for patient na may hypertension. Diba? Kasi nga kung mas mataas yung sodium, diba, mas tataas yung water, tataas yung blood volume din. Diba? So, lalo mahihirapan. Increase in renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system activity. So, si RAAS, diba, dapat mag-activate lang siya pag bumababa yung BP ni patient. Pero sa kanya, ano daw? Trabaho siya ng trabaho. Activate siya ng activate. So, ngayon, diba, kino-conserve niya yung fluids and sodium. So, ngayon, diba, tumataas yung tumataas yung pressure. Hindi na dapat magpo-flow yung blood ni patient. Tapos dapat iihi yung patient natin. Okay, ano pa daw? Decrease vasodilatation of the arterioles. Diba? Yung pag-dilate ng mga vessels natin. Diba? Yan yung problema. And pwede rin po, for patients with diabetes, diba, yung resistance nila sa action ng insulin natin. Okay, hypertensive emergencies and urgencies may occur in patient whose hypertension has been poorly controlled. So, kaya dapat po makontrol natin yan. So, whose hypertension has been undiagnosed and in those who have abruptly discontinued their medications. Diba? For some instances kasi, there are patient or there are persons na dahil wala silang nararamdaman, but if you would check, diba, yung BP nila mataas, 140, 150, diba, para ako, diba, sabi sa inyo before, yung blood pressure ko, way back years ago, nasa 140 to 150. And feeling ko normal siya sa akin kasi wala akong nararamdaman. Diba? Kaya undiagnosed siya. Eh kung continuously or kung pinabayaan ko lang yun, I can possibly have a hypertensive crisis or emergency. Biglang magsushoot up yan. O, kaya mas mahalaga talaga po nag-check ng BP. Ngayon naman, mura na lang naman po yung pang-BP. Diba? Available naman na yan. Madali naman na. Hindi kagaya dati. Very limited lang yung mga tao na mayroon pang blood pressure. Okay? And ano daw? Those patient whose medication was abruptly discontinued, bigla na lang in-stop. Diba? Ugaling Pinoy. Diba? Nagpa-check up, niresetahan ni Doc ng amlodipine. After 1 month, normal naman na daw yung BP niya, in-stop. So, ano mangyayaring yun? Pwede mag-rebound. Kasi nga, di ba yung amlodipine, di ba, or yung mga maintenance medication, kaya siya maintenance, it helps you to maintain yung blood pressure. Eh, bigla mo tinanggal. So, ngayon magre-rebound, hypertension yung pasyente. Wala na ngayon yung tumutulong na mag-control ng BP dun kay patient. Diba? Okay. What is secondary hypertension naman daw? Secondary hypertension is characterized by elevation of blood pressure with specific cause, which is ano daw? Narrowing of the renal artery. So, sumikip yung mga daanan. Diba? Kung sisikip talaga, diba, mas mahirap dumaan. So, tataas yung pressure. Same with renal parenchymal disease. Nasisira yung kidney ni patient. Or those patients who have hyperaldosteronism or mineralocorticoid hypertension. Diba? Kasi yung nare-retain yung fluid kay patient. Okay? Pwede din due to certain medications. Diba? Pregnancy. Pwede rin po yan. Kaya di ba meron tayong pregnancy-induced hypertension. Nalala pa yan sa 219, yung pasyente na nag-i-increase yung BP. Ano nga tawag doon? Ano nga yung patient na tawag sa pregnancy? Di ba PIH? Tapos pag di siya na-manage, it could cause to pre-eclampsia. Di ba? Ayan. Ito, coartication of the aorta. Congenital, narrowing mismo nung aorta ni patient, lumiliit din yung aorta. Diba? Eh dapat, diba si aorta siya yung largest artery in our system. Okay? Kasi siya nagre-receive nung blood from your left ventricle. Okay? Hypertension can also be acute. It's a sign and underlying condition that causes a change in peripheral resistance or dun sa cardiac output ni patient. Okay? So, anong makikita natin manifestation kay patient na mataas ang blood pressure or patient who have hypertension? So, physical examination may reveal no abnormality other than blood pressure. Diba? Sabi ko nga, patient may remain be normal unless i-check mo yung BP niya, makita mo mataas. Okay? If continuously mataas, ano daw mangyayari? Changes in the retinas. Diba? Pwede mag-bleed. Because of the increase in the pressure, diba, your retinas have small vessels na pwedeng pumutok yung mga yan. Okay? Exudates, narrowed arterioles, and cotton wool spots or small infarctions. And papil edema may be seen in severe hypertension. Makita mo dyan. Bali minsan sabi, ay, parang may pula ka sa mata. O, pwedeng yun, sign na yun or manifestation na meron ka increased hypertension or may increased hypertension, increased blood pressure. Okay, symptoms usually indicate vascular damage related to organ system served by involved vessels. So, ibig sabihin, kung anong organ ang naapektuhan, that's the symptoms that could be seen on a patient. Diba? Example, coronary artery disease. Diba? Patient could have angina or myocardial infarction. Yan yung magiging consequences. Okay? Left ventricular hypertrophy. Diba? Yung left ventricle, diba, hirap siya. And ano mangyayari? It could lead to heart failure. Ano ba daw? Pathologic changes, sabi nga natin, dahil sa kidney, ano daw, yung kidney affected. So, patient could have nocturia, diba? Ihi na ihi sa gabi. Or, patient could have increased BUN and creatinine levels. Ba't siya tumataas? Diba, yung function of kidney to filter those waste product is na-alter because of the increase in the blood pressure. So, hindi na niya siya napipilter ng maayos. And cardiovascular involvement may occur, pwede ma-stroke yung patient natin, or pwede magkaroon transient ischemic attack. Okay, alteration in vision, speech, dizziness, weakness, sudden fall, or transient or pwedeng permanent na hemiplegia. Diba? Yung nag-stroke na yung pasyente natin. Okay, malinaw po. May question with hypertension. Nakakasunod? Okay, so assessment. Sabi natin, what will be our assessment and diagnostics kay patient? So, history and physical examinations, including retinal exam, diba? Yung fundoscope natin, ophthalmoscope, diba? Laboratory studies for organ damage. So, kailangan magpa-urinalysis si patient, diba? To check yung kidney function. Same goes with blood chemistry, diba? Sodium, potassium, creatinine, fasting, glucose, total and high density lipoprotein, so on. Yan. So, yan po yung common na ipapacheck kay patient. Okay, ECG to check for the electrocardioactivity of your heart. And siyempre, pwede rin po ang echocardiography, ito as yung ventricular hypertrophy if the left ventricle is now affected na. Additional studies such as creatinine clearance, renin level, urine test, and 24-hour urine protein, pwede yan pong gawin sa kanya. Pero ang standard, ito pong 6. So, FBS, lipid profile, lahat yan sasabay-sabay na yan. Yan. So, tapos yung mga HDL, yung cholesterol level ni patient. Okay, so management, sabi natin, our goal of any treatment program is to prevent death and complication by achieving, maintaining arterial blood pressure below 140/90 millimeters mercury. And kung possible daw, pag patient who have kidney or DM, kidney chronic diseases, ang goal natin sana 130/80, pero napakahirap pong i-achieve yan sa mga patient na merong DM or merong CKD. Medyo mahirap po i-achieve yung 130/180. So, multiple medications yung binibigay sa kanila. Okay? So, non-pharmacologic treatment. So, anong gagawin? Diba? So, weight reduction. Diba? Magpapayak. Okay? Restriction of alcohol and sodium. Diba? And regular exercise plus relaxation. O mag-yoga-yoga yung patient. Diba? Hindi naman sinabi extreme exercise. Diba? You just want to help you, diba, through exercise, increase natin yung mga arterial walls natin. And ano daw? The diet of the patient should be a DASH diet or a dietary approach to stop hypertension. So, anong diet siya? So, dapat the diet should be high in fruits, vegetable, and low dairy products para bumaba yung blood pressure. So, foods that is rich in potassium, calcium, magnesium, fiber, and protein. Diba? So, pero sa atin na low sodium, low saturated fats, low cholesterol, and konti lang dapat yung sugar kay patient. Okay? So, select a drug that has greatest effectiveness, fewest side effects, and best chance of accepting by the patient. So, 2 classes of drugs are available as first-line therapy. So, pwedeng diuretics, paihiin si patient, okay? Or beta blocker. So, titingnan muna ano yung magiging effect kay patient. Kapag na-adapt nung katawan niya yan, di ba? So, pwedeng yan na po yung gamitin na maintenance med ni patient. Di ba? Kaya pag una, talagang kumbaga parang nagiging trial and error. Minsan, may napapansin, di ba? Balik po kayo after a month. Then check natin. Pag hindi nagbago, palitan yung gamot kung saan magre-respond yung katawan ni patient. Okay? Promote compliance and by avoiding complicated drug schedules. So, simple lang naman po inumin yung gamot na yan. Diba? Kadalasan, morning or afternoon. O tandaan, pag diuretics, morning. Kasi nga, pag gabi, mag-iihi yung patient. Okay? So, assessment, sabi natin, assess blood pressure at frequent intervals, know the baseline level, no changes in pressure that would require in medications. Diba? Check natin. Kailangan everyday magbi-BP yung pasyente. Okay? Assess for signs and symptoms that indicate target organ damage. Diba? Vaginal pain, shortness of breath, speech, vision alteration, or yung balance mismo ng patient pwede rin. Nosebleed, headache, dizziness, or nocturia, it's a sign na pwedeng may problem doon sa mga organs na sisira ng pag may high blood pressure si patient. Note the apical and peripheral pulse rate, rhythm, and character. Pag sinabing apical, yung heart rate diba siya check mo, and plus yung peripheral pulse, diba yung mga pulso dun sa brachial or radial artery ni patient, brachial pulse. Okay, assess daw extent to which hypertension has affected patients personally, socially, and financially. So, kaya mahalaga din po, kasama po yan. How the patient will cope. Diba, yung minsan yung iba kasi, hindi nila matanggap na meron na sila niya. Okay? So, what will be our collaborative problem potential or potential complications for hypertensions? Kaya mahalaga siyang ma-manage. Diba? Patient who have left ventricular hypertrophy nga, myocardial infarction, heart failure, transient ischemic attack, cerebrovascular accident, renal insufficiency and failure or CKD, retinal hemorrhage. Okay, so what our plan para ma-prevent yan? What's our plan and goal? Sabi, the major goal for patient include understanding the disease process and its treatment, participation in self-care program, and absence of complication. That's why it's very important that we discuss or the patient understand ano ba yung nangyayari sa hypertension. What would be the long-term effect of hypertension sa pasyente if hindi siya na-manage. Okay, ano pa daw? Yung treatment, bakit ba kailangan inumin yung gamot? Diba? Especially, paliwanag natin, bakit ba siya tinawag na maintenance? Bakit hindi pwedeng i-stop basta-basta yung gamot? Diba? So, yun po yung ating ini-instruct kay patient. Okay, nursing intervention, sabi natin, increasing the knowledge of the patient. So, emphasize the concept of controlling hypertension with changes and mitigation rather than recurring it. So, di ba, kaya nga, ba't nagpapalit si doctor? Arrange a consultation with dietitian, di ba, to help develop a plan for improving nutrient intake or for weight loss ni patient. Di ba, pag malataba, or paano ba, ano ba yung mga diet na gagawin ni patient. Okay, advise patient to limit alcohol intake and avoid use of tobacco. Diba? Yung smoking, kasi diba, nakakapag predispose siya na magkaroon ng narrowing ng arteries. Tataas yung BP ni patient. Okay, recommend support groups for weight control, smoking cessation, and stress reduction if necessary. So, sometimes makakatulong yan if you will include your patient, include your patient sa mga same group, yung mga support group na tinatawag. Dito sa Pilipinas, hindi siya masyadong yung ganitong support group. Diba? Pero sa ibang bansa kasi, mayroong mga support group na ganyan, na you can join Minsan, every week, every other week, nagmi-meet sila, share your experiences, ayan, nagaganyan sila dyan. Diba? Kasi sometimes, diba, if you have same problem, tapos magkakasama kayo, diba, nakakapag-share kayo ng ideas or on how would you cope. So, yan yung ginagawa dyan. Okay? And, assist patient to develop and adhere to appropriate exercise regimen. Diba? Kasi nga, we promote na mag-exercise yung patient natin. Okay? Meron po bang question? Meron po bang clarification? Any violent reaction? Gets po ba? Okay? Wala? Continue lang? Kaya pa? Kayang-kaya, di ba? Kayo pa ba? Kayo pa? Okay. Let's now move to the next problem, what we called aneurysm. Okay? Sabi natin, it is the enlargement of the artery caused by weakness in arterial wall. Often, there are no symptoms but ruptured aneurysm can lead to fatal complications. So, ano nangyari? Yung daw artery ng pasyente is nagiging weak. So, kumaga nagiging mahina. So, ano ay nangyayari dahil nagiging mahina siya? Lumo-lobo yung artery ni patient. And, pwede siyang pumutok. Din sa yung tinatawag na ruptured aneurysm. At kapag pumutok yung artery, di ba, the patient could die. That's the problem with aneurysm natin. Sabi natin, an aneurysm refers to weakening of arterial wall that creates bulge or distension of the artery. So, most aneurysm do not show symptoms and are not dangerous. However, at their most severe stage, some can rupture leading to life-threatening intracranial bleeding. Diba? Kaya halimbawa, mataas na nga yung BP, may aneurysm ka, tapos mataas pa yung BP. Diba? Lalo magpe-predispose siya na pumutok yung mga yan. Okay, so what are the types of aneurysm? So we have what we call the rupture of an aneurysm can be fatal. So aneurysms are classified by their location, kung saan siya natatagpuan. Diba? The arteries of the brain and the heart are the two most common site of serious aneurysm. Diba? The bulge can take two main shapes. Diba? Meron tayo na possiform aneurysm, ibig sabihin bulge all side of the blood vessels. Sa buong blood vessels, later papakita ko yung picture. Saccular aneurysm, bulge only on one side, and the risk of rupture depends on the size of the bulge. Ibig sabihin, possiform saccular, ibig sabihin, pwede siya. And sabi ko, di ba, pain and heart. So, ano itsura niyan? So, ganito po. Pag possiform, ibig sabihin, ayan, nagbabulge yung buong artery no patient natin. Okay? Kapag naman saccular, ibig sabihin, nagkakaroon lang ng sa isang side may lumulobo. And, pwede po yung pumutok. Tandaan, di ba, artery. Di ba, artery is mataas yung pressure dyan. Kasi nga, dyan. So, pag pumutok yan, di ba, patient could die due to severe bleeding. Okay, sabi natin, aneurysm tends to occur at specific anatomic site, but most commonly in the abdominal aorta. So, dun sa aorta ni patient. So, ayan po ang mga common site ng aneurysm. Yan. Oh. Diba? Meron dito. Yan. Pero pinaka-common daw, dito sa part na to ang common sa kanya. So, let's start. Aortic aneurysm. The aorta, which is the largest or the large artery that begins at the left ventricle of the heart and passes through the chest and abdominal cavities. The normal diameter of aorta is between 2 to 3 cm but can bulge beyond 5 cm kapag merong aneurysm. Okay? So, ayan po. Sa aorta ni patient, di ba? Ang laki-laki ng aorta. Di ba? Tumaba na ng tumaba. So, this is your abdominal aneurysm, aortic abdominal aneurysm. So, tinatawag din siya na AAA. Saan mo, yan yung pumutok, di ba? Yan yung pinakamalaking aneurysm, pinakamalaking artery. Diba? The most common aneurysm of aorta is an abdominal aortic aneurysm. This occurs in the part of aorta that runs through the abdomen. Without surgery, the annual survival rate of patient with AAA of over 6 cm is 20%. Okay? And AA can rapidly become fatal, but those that survive the transfer to hospital has 50% chance of overall survival. So, at least may chance kung mati-treat siya. Okay? Next naman is your less common naman thoracic aortic aneurysm can affect the part of the aorta running through the chest, dun sa may chest ni patient. Kaya has survival rate around 56% without treatment and 85% kapag na-operahan yung patient natin. Okay? It is a rare condition and as only as 25% of aortic aneurysm can occur in chest. So, bihira siyang mangyari. Kaya nga less common. Okay? Meron ba rin tayong tinatawag na cerebral aneurysm naman. So, cerebral aneurysm, sabi, aneurysm of the arteries that supply the brain. Diba? With blood as are known as intracranial aneurysm. So, due to their appearance is also known as your what we call berry aneurysm. So, a ruptured aneurysm of the brain can be fatal within 24 hours. Ano yung berry aneurysm? Ito siya. Diba? Parang may berries. Kasi nga, ayun, nagkaroon ng bilog-bilog dun sa ugat. Imagine mo, diba? Small arteries lang yan. Pero pag nag-bleed yan, diba, yan yung nagsusupply sa brain. So, mawawala ng blood supply yung brain ni patient. Sabi natin, cerebral aneurysm, 40% of the brain aneurysms are fatal and around 66% of those who survive will experience a resulting neurologic impairment or disability. Kasi nga, kung nag-rupture na yan, di ba, some of the parts of the brain could be affected. Which, ano daw yan? Di ba yan yung nag-co-control sa katawan natin? Di ba? Pwedeng speech. Di ba? Pwedeng nagkaroon ng hemiparesis. Di ba? So, sabi natin, ruptured cerebral aneurysms are most common cause of type of stroke known as your subarachnoid hemorrhage. So, ayan. So, dati medyo madami kami naging patient na ganyan. Parang dati sa loob ng isang buwan, hindi kami nawawala na patient na mayroong subarachnoid hemorrhage. Okay, peripheral aneurysm naman daw. Sabi, an aneurysm can also occur in peripheral arteries. So, type of peripheral aneurysms include yung popliteal aneurysm. O, sa popliteal area. Sabi, nansan dyan? Dun sa likod ng tuhod natin. The most common peripheral aneurysm, we have your splenic artery aneurysm. Diba sa spleen naman, nagkaroon ng aneurysm. Mesenteric artery aneurysm affects the arteries na supply yung mga intestine. Diba yung ating mesenteric arteries, so yun yung affected. Yung nagsusupply ng blood dun sa mismong intestine ng patient. Femoral aneurysm, so sa may femoral or doon sa may singit banda ni patient. Carotid artery aneurysm, yan sa may bandang leeg. Okay, visceral aneurysm, this is a bulge of the arteries that supplies the bowel or the kidneys. Yan, so peripheral aneurysms are less likely to rupture than aortic aneurysm. So yung pinaka-delikado po talaga na type of aneurysm is your aortic aneurysm, which is your abdominal aortic aneurysm, diba? Yan yung pinaka-common. So, symptoms, ano makita kay patient na may aneurysm? Sabi nga, most aneurysms are clinically silent. So, wala tayong makikitang sintomas. Diba? Kaya kadalasan mapapansin niya, bigla na lang na-stroke, bigla na lang nategi yung pasyente. Kasi nga, kadalasan, tahimik lang siya dyan. Diba? Tahimik lang sa umpisa. Diba? Pero, sabi, symptoms do not usually occur unless an aneurysm rupture. Diba? Tahimik lang sa umpisa. Pero pag pumutok, ayan, lalabas na yung symptoms. However, an unruptured aneurysm may still be obstruct circulation or other tissues. Kasi nga, diba, imbis na mag-flow lang yung blood, so sumasama dun sa mismo. Nag-i-stuck dun sa mga nagbabulge na yan. They can also form blood clots, diba? That may go on to the obstruct yung smaller vessels. And this condition known as your thromboembolic embolism. That will be discussed later on. Okay, sabi natin, it can lead to ischemic stroke and other serious complications. Diba yung mga clots na yan? Ha? Ano pa daw? Aneurysms are generally symptomless but their complication can cause severe chest pain. Diba kung nag-rupture na siya? Rapidly growing abdominal aneurysms are sometimes associated with symptoms sa abdomen. Kasi nga, some people with abdominal aneurysm report na ano daw, nagkakaroon sila ng abdominal pain. Okay? Or lower back pain. And sometimes, ano daw, sabi nila, a pulsating sensation in the abdomen. Feeling nila may tumitibok-tibok, may kumikibot-kibot dun sa abdomen ni patient. Kasi nga, di ba, abdominal earth, di ba lumalobo yun habang nagpa-flow yung nakabalance siya. So, kaya parang naramdaman niya, may parang titibok dun sa abdomen ni patient. So, similarly, thoracic aneurysm can affect nearby nerves and other blood vessels that could, potentially cause swallowing or difficulty of breathing a patient. Diba? Pain sa jaw, sa chest, and the upper back. Diba? The key features here is tandaan anong part ng katawan yung merong aneurysm. Na yun yung possible na makikita natin na sintomas kay patient. Diba? Ito kasi thoracic, diba? Chest, jaw kasama po. Yan dyan. Okay, symptoms can also relate to the cause of the aneurysm rather than the aneurysm itself. For example, caused by vasculitis, inflammation of the vessels of the patient. Okay, vessels are blood vessels inflammation. A person with experience ng fever, malaise, or weakness or weight loss kay patient. Okay, so what will be the complications? Diba? So, the first signs of a previous undetected aneurysm will be complication upon rupture. So, pag pumutok siya. And sabi, symptoms tend to result from a rupture rather than the aneurysm alone. So, mas makikita natin kasi yung sintomas kapag pumutok na yan. And most people living with aneurysm do not experience any complications. Basta meron. Diba? Hanggat hindi siya pumuputok. Okay, however, in addition, sabi nga, thromboembolism and ruptured aorta or rupture of the aorta, complications could have severe chest or back pain. Severe chest or back pain may arise following a rupture of aortic aneurysm. Diba? Angina, diba? Sabi natin, certain types of aneurysm that could lead to angina, any type of chest pain. So, angina can lead to myocardial ischemia or pwede mag-heart attack yung patient natin. Okay, sudden extreme headache o ulo. Ibig sabihin, if the brain aneurysm lead to subarachnoid hemorrhage. So, the main symptoms is sudden severe headache kay patient. Okay, so rupture aneurysm, ano daw mangyayari kapag nag-rupture? Siyempre, merong pain, low blood pressure kasi nagli-leak yung blood, di ba? Rapid heart rate, nagre-respond yung katawan mo. Diba? Lightheadedness. And most people with aneurysm will not experience any complication unless nga na mag-rupture talaga siya. Okay? Malinaw po? May question ba? Okay. So, what are the causes of aneurysm? Sabi natin, aneurysm can happen in any part of the body due to blood pressure can more easily distend a weakened arterial wall. Diba? Kung mataas yung pressure, diba, weak ng arterial wall. So, syempre, may stretch na yun. Diba? Further research is necessary to confirm why an arterial weakness can cause aneurysm. And some aneurysm, though less common, are present from birth as arterial defect. So, sometimes, meron na yan nagiging birth defect. So, sabi nga natin, aortic dissection. So, aortic dissection is one identifiable cause of aortic aneurysm. Ibig sabihin, the arterial wall, yung layers niya, di ba, nasisira. Diba? Blood can burst through a tear and weakness wall of the artery. So, binding dun sa layers. So, mapupunit siya. Diba? Haba kasi na-stretch yan, may stretch. Diba? So, ano pa daw? It can Then feel the cavity surrounding the heart. And if the tear occurs on the innermost layer of the arterial wall, blood channels into and weakens the wall. So, increasing the risk na lalo mag-rupture. Yan. Ano pa daw? People with aortic dissection often describe abrupt and excruciating chest pain. Bigla na lang sumakit. Sobra yung chest ni patient. And this pain travels as the dissection progresses along the aorta. So, habang lumalaki siya ng lumalaki. So, it may, for example, radiate to back. Diba? Dissection leads to compression na yan. And compression prevents the blood from returning to the heart. Is also known as what we call your pericardial tamponade. So, pwede rin po yun na mag-cause. Ibig sabihin kasi nga napunta dang doon yun, naipon yung blood doon sa heart ni patient. So, risk factors, sabi natin, there are some lifestyle choices and physical characteristics that increase the chance of aneurysm. Ano yung mga yan? Smoking, diba? Hypertension or high blood pressure. Poor diet. Ayan, pagkain doon na mahirap, hindi. Ibig sabihin, unhealthy diet. Baka sabihin nyo, poor diet, ay yung pagkain pala na mahihirap. Hindi po gano'n, ha? Okay, inactivity lifestyle. Ayan, sedentary, higa-higa lang, kain, tulog, sarap buhay. Diba? Obesity, pwede rin po. Yan. Okay, so sabi natin, smoking is by far the most common risk factor, especially in cases of abdominal aortic aneurysm. So, tobacco use has been shown not only increase in cardiovascular disease and the risk of aneurysm, but also increase the risk of rupture once an aneurysm has taken effect. So, ganyan po kataas yung risk, diba? If you smoke. Okay? So, ano daw po yung mga assessment na gagawin natin kay patient? Sabi natin, siyempre, kung affected yung brain, so, dapat complete neurologic assessment is very important. So, first is we want to check the level of consciousness of the patient. Gising, oriented, drowsy, tulog, yung pasyente. Diba? Using, pwede po, GCS. Diba? Yung Glasgow Coma Scale natin. Okay, ano pa daw? Pupillary reaction. Diba? Yung reaction ng mata, di ba, using your pen light, dapat kasi mabilis yung reaction and equal yan dapat. Di ba, naalala nyo nga yung description natin, pag normal, di ba, perla. Pupils equally reactive to light and accommodation. Ibig sabihin, kapag nag-introduce ka ng light, di ba, magko-constrict yan dapat. Magkakaroon ng react. Pero pag mabagal yung reaction, there is problem with the brain of the patient. Di ba? Monitor motor and sensory functions of the patient. Diba, kasama yan. Diba, yung sa touch, diba, yung identify niya yung sharp or yung blunt object. Diba, naalala pa yung mga ganyan. Diba, yung pang-amoy. Diba, yan, yung mga cranial nerves deficit. Diba, extraocular movement. Anong optic nerve? Anong nerve yan? Diba, yung oculomotor nerves. Cranial nerve number 3. Diba, olfactory oculomotor. Facial drop, di ba? O facial bagsak, ptosis. Di ba? Or nagkakaroon ng lid, bumabagsak yung eyelid ni patient. Di ba? Speech difficulties, nahirapan ba magsalita yung pasyente? Okay, ano pa daw? Nagkakaroon ba ng visual disturbances or headache yung patient natin? And patient may also have nuchal rigidity or tightness or inability of the neck to move. So, naninigas yung legs ni patient. Diba? Hirap silang galawin yan. And kahit ano pang other neurologic deficits, so i-check natin kay patient. So, diba, lahat nung ginawa nyo noon sa health assessment niyo, yun yung way on how we would check, diba, or assess neurologically yung patient natin. So, document and report neurologic assessment findings and reassess and report any changes in patient's condition. So, detect subtle changes, especially altered level of consciousness, which is this the earliest sign na nagde-deteriorate yung patient natin. Diba? Mild drowsiness to sluggish or slurring of speech. Diba? Yung nagbubulol-bulol na yung patient natin. Okay, so what is the plan and goal? Sabi natin, patient goal includes improve cerebral tissue perfusion, relief of the sensory and perceptual deprivation, so relief of anxiety and absence of complications. So yan yung goal natin. Dapat maibalik yung tissue perfusion. Diba? Hindi mag-progress yung neurologic deficit ni patient. So, nursing intervention. So, improving cerebral tissue perfusion by and daw. Monitor closely for neurologic deterioration and maintain a neurologic flow record. So, assess yung patient. Diba? So, kaya kadalasan si patient is nasa intensive care unit. Then, usually, every hour, nag-neuro assessment. Diba? And nire-record. So, meron ng neurovital signs po tayo. So, check blood pressure, pulse, diba? The level of consciousness of the patient, diba? Pupillary response, and motor functions hourly. Yan. So, GCS nga po tayo dyan. So, monitor respiratory status and report immediately kapag merong changes dyan. So, kami nun, standard yun. Tapos, every now and then every end of shift, update din kami sa mga doctor ng patient namin. Okay pa daw. Implement aneurysm precaution. So, immediate and absolute bed rest in a quiet, non-stressful setting. Restrict visitors except for family. So, kailangan mag-rest si patient. Elevate head of bed 15 to 30 degrees or as ordered by the doctor. Avoid any activity to suddenly increase yung blood pressure or obstruct yung venous return. So, especially, bawal umire, yan, yung mga pasyente. Instruct patient to exhale during voiding or defecation to decrease yung strain. So, pag kasi exhale, di ba mas nagre-relax? Dun sasabayan. Hindi yung pipigilan, iiri lalo yung mag-bleed. Okay? Eliminate caffeine. So, bawal ang kape, soft drinks, chocolate. Okay? Administer all personal care. So, tutulungan. Kasi nga, di ba, decrease dapat, di ba? We want to avoid activity sa pasyente. Di ba? Rest. Kaya, tutulungan sa personal care ni patient or activities of daily living. So, minimize external stimuli or stimuli. So, ibig sabihin, dapat tahimik, huwag masyadong magulo. Okay, apply anti-embolic stockings or sequential compression devices. Observe legs for signs and symptoms of deep vein thrombosis. Diba? Nagkakaroon ba ng mga redness or swelling dyan? Diba sa lower extremities ni patient? Yan, nagkakaroon ba ng edema sa patient natin? So, living sensory deprivation. So, keep sensory stimulation at a minimum and explain restriction to reduce patient self-isolation. So, inform mo siya, bakit ba sila lang yung bumadalo sa akin? So, explain mo na bakit konti lang, bakit limited lang yung visitors. Kasi kung maisip niya, parang wala nang pupunta sa akin, lalo yung kakaroon ng anxiety, feeling niya bakit ina-isolate siya. Diba? Okay, relieve anxiety by informing the patients yung with regards dun sa plan of care. Ano daw yung gagawin kay patient? Dapat ipinapaliwanag. And sabi natin, provide support and appropriate reassurance to patients and to dun sa family. So, kaya ba yung sabi natin, ipapaliwanag, di ba? And supportahan natin. Di ba? Pero, kasi the more na mas naintindihan nila kung ano yung nangyayari, the more na mas madali silang mag-a-adapt dyan. Okay, may question po ba sa aneurysm? Meron po bang clarifications? Okay. All good. Okay. Sige. So, kung wala nang question,